Welcome back to the pregame. Time now for our EMS Detergent Services Assistant Coach Minute. We have John Hierseman joining us here, Assistant Coach and Offensive Coordinator. And Coach, we've talked to you a little bit about some of the stuff we normally do. I wanted to take a little different approach here tonight. And as Offensive Coordinator, kind of look at what it takes for you to get prepared heading into a week and kind of do some of the game planning. So, I guess take everybody through just a typical week. You get done with the game on a Friday night. What kinds of things are you working on to try to get ready for that next Friday night's game?
Well, the first thing we do, we get into huddle and we can download all the film from that the other team has played so far this year. Then the first thing I do, and I learned this from Jared, and I'm sure Jared learned it from Lurch, is you get the notepad out, you get a ruler. I think he did the same thing. You make a grid on your paper, and you just start writing down how they line up to different formations. In particular, of course, the formations that we run. Sometimes you pick up another team's formation that's kind of a good look and you add it that week. But really, you just go through and scrub it and try to find their alignment first. Huddle makes it pretty easy now because you can sort down to that formation and get all those clips in a row and pick it out. In the old days, you used to have to just really go play by play, and you'd write down each formation one at a time and then go back and check it and see how many times they ran that.
So then what are some of the keys that you're looking for beyond the formation, how they're lining up? What kinds of things do you look for once the play gets developing?
Well, of course, you try to look for their best players. And in that, really, I think the best way is just to watch the whole game. You watch, see what kids are playing both ways, what kids are good on offense or probably good on defense too. You kind of pick up some tendencies on when they blitz, things like that.
So then when it comes to you get some of those things down, what kinds of things do you do in terms of looking at what you want to try to accomplish with your offense? Do you try to switch the game plan a little bit or, adjust some formations somewhat? Or what kinds of keys are you trying to do with your guys during that week of practice?
Yeah. You always end up adding a little bit every week, but the first thing you look for is how your existing offense works or how you can tweak your existing offense, because you really hate to throw in more than what you need to. And every week it happens. There's a play already this week I tried to put in, and I call them expensive plays. If it takes a lot of your practice time, you got to run them a bunch of times, then to me it's expensive. And then when you're thinking about that, on a Sunday trying to figure out your game plan, you really, try to decide, is that just too expensive to even try to put in, or is that something we can accomplish with our terminology and our sets and not have to change a whole bunch of things? And then, then it's, not very hard to put in.
And then how about on game night? Friday night, obviously their team's doing different things as well. What kinds of communication are you having with, your offensive linemen or your other assistant coaches to kind of see, hey, let's try to tweak this a little bit more?
Yeah. Well, and that goes back to running things you're familiar with. And, we try to have rules built into all the plays so that the guys know when something changes on the fly that, it's within the rules and it adjusts on its own. Because these guys all play both ways for the most part, so you don't have a lot of time to talk to them. You might get a timeout here or there, but otherwise it's probably not till halftime until you can really lay out a play differently. So you hope you've got enough rules built in that it adapts on its own. Like last week, our quick pitch play, we have kind of a base set of rules. We really thought Cardinals' alignment would be different, and it was going to change our base rules. Well, they showed up in a different defense. So we were able to actually go back to our original rules so we could switch on the fly. And actually the kids did that, which is pretty cool when they can analyze something and realize what they need to do differently.
Well, it's been exciting to kind of see how this offense has grown and developed as the season goes on. And, we're looking forward to a few more weeks of it here, Coach. Thanks very much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That is John Hierseman. He's tonight's EMS Detergent Services Assistant Coach Minute. Back with more of the pregame right after this. You're listening to the Bearcast at westbranch.football.